This is Wargame Magazine. I'm Jason, and in this video, I'm going to give 5 reasons why you, as a wargamer, should jump into the Mediterranean Bronze Age period. Step away from the well-ordered legions of Rome and the disciplined hoplites of classical Greece, and venture further back into an age of heroes, colossal palaces, and world-shattering collapse. The Bronze Age Mediterranean is one of history's most thrilling and dynamic periods for wargamers. From the sun-baked plains of Canaan to the labyrinth halls of Knossos, this era offers a unique and captivating tabletop experience. And here are 5 reasons why you should command a Bronze Age army. So, point number 1. A world of fragile empires and flashpoint conflicts. Forget vast monolithic empires for a moment. The Bronze Age was defined by delicate great powers club, the Mycenaeans, Hittites, New Kingdom Egypt, and the enigmatic Assyrians and Babylonians. These kingdoms were connected by diplomacy and trade, but their borders were pretty tense and their alliances were really fragile. This creates a perfect geopolitical landscape for wargaming. A conflict between the Hittites and the Egyptians over the strategic city of Kadesh wasn't just a border skirmish, it was a clash of superpowers that threatened the entire international system. As a wargamer, you aren't just fighting a battle, you're navigating a web of royal correspondence, shifting vassal loyalties, and that constant threat of a rival kingdom capitalizing on your distraction. This adds a rich layer of strategic context to every encounter, making every victory feel world-changing and defeat feeling pretty potentially catastrophic. So, number 2, the glamour and gore of the heroic era warfare. This is a world where Homer's Iliad, an era where warfare was both brutal of mass infantry and personal contests of champions. Kings and nobles fought from magnificent chariots, serving as battle-winning shock and awe of their time. On the tabletop, this translates to a combined arms approach. This is both visually stunning and tactically fascinating. Your core will be formed by ranks of spearmen, often lightly armored, who clash in a grinding melee. But the real drama comes from your elite units. Chariot-born aristocracy. Do you use them as a mobile archery platforms to whittle down your enemy, or do you drive them in for a devastating charge? Protecting your chariots while neutralizing your opponents becomes a key tactical goal. This blend of heroic, character-driven combat and the slog of infantry ranks creates that incredibly dynamic and narrative-rich games. So at number 3, we have the sheer diversity of military systems. If you love painting and fielding unique armies, the Bronze Age is your paradise. There is no standard army list, friends. The New Kingdom Egypt field disciplined regiments of infantry, Shadana mercenaries with distinct horned helmets, massed composite bowmen, and fast, lightweight chariots carrying 2-man crews. The Hittite Empire rely on heavier 3-man chariots, designed as true battering rams to smash through their enemy lines, supported by a variety of allied and vassal troops from across Anatolia. Now, the Mycenaean Greece command armies of warriors clad in bronze, dendra, panoply armor, led by chariots that often delivered these elite fighters to the critical point of the battles. The Canaanite city-states are a mix of local militia, professional Marianu chariot warriors, a melting pot of influences from their Egyptian overlords and Hittite rivals. Then we have the Sea Peoples, the ultimate wildcard, a mysterious coalition of raiders and migrants. Their equipment, feathered helmet, distinctive armor, and their role as an unstoppable civilization-ending threat that makes them both fascinating and unpredictable faction to play. So, number 4, the mystery of the late Bronze Age collapse. Around 1200 to 1150 BCE, the entire intricate system of the Bronze Age came crashing down. Palaces were burnt, cities were abandoned, and the great kingdoms faded away. The causes are still debated. Where was it? Invasion by sea people, climate change, internal rebellion, or systematic collapse? All of these are pretty much leading theories, but we don't know which one or combination of which are true. This historical mystery is a gift for wargamers because it provides the ultimate what if and narrative campaign settings that you can, say, defend the realm, play as the Egyptians desperately trying to turn back the waves of the Sea Peoples and Libyan raiders, be the agent of chaos, lead the Sea Peoples in a campaign of destruction, pillage along the coast of the Mediterranean, or struggle for survival, command a Hittite garrison, trying to hold a crumbling frontier against invaders and former vassals. You can explore the what if the Mycenaean palaces had coordinated the defences, the what if the Hittites had secured their grain shipments. The collapse offers this really great sandbox of desperate last stands and epic doomed campaigns. So, the fifth and final one, it's a fresh and growing frontier. Now, while Napoleonics and World War II have massive followings, the Bronze Age is still a burgeoning frontier in the wargaming world. This means you have the chance to explore a period without established metagames or solved army lists. You're basically a pioneer, interpreting the archaeology and the fragmentary records to build your force. Furthermore, the miniatures market has never been better. Companies like Wargames, with their excellent Hail Caesar and SPQR lines, there's Victric Limited, Footsore Miniatures, and Lucier Studios, all now producing 28mm plastic and metal ranges for nearly every major and minor faction in this era. Then there's a smaller scale manufacturers like Forged in Battle, which makes it easier to assemble huge armies for grand battles. Then you've got the WOD 7.2 scale with numerous plastic offerings from various different factions and armies. The Bronze Age Mediterranean offers a unique blend of historical depth, mythological glamour, tactical diversity, and narrative potential. It is a period where the fate of civilizations hang in the balance, where a single chariot charge could decide the future of a kingdom, and where the line between history and legend is beautifully blurred. So, pick up your shield of oxide and bronze, ready your lance, and prepare to take the reins of a chariot. The great powers are watching, the sea peoples are on the horizon, and history, or in its glorious ruin, await your command at the tabletop. Now, this is a period I've become interested in quite recently, and I've been finding it quite fascinating. We've got this group that are sort of raiding around the Mediterranean called the Sea Peoples, and we don't really know a huge amount about them, which makes that quite interesting. Which means we can if you decide to go with Sea People, you can be a bit creative about who and what they are, because there's not a lot of archaeological evidence or information about them. We knew they existed, and we knew that they were quite a devastating force, and they caused a lot of chaos and were pretty much civilized, as we said earlier, civilization-ending force. But as quickly as they came, they kind of disappear, and that's one of the reasons why this period is quite fascinating. And then we have these big, huge sort of empires that grow up, like the Hittites, the Egyptians, and then the collapse of the Bronze Age, and they kind of dissipate. And then we see the rise of Rome and the whole sort of going into the Iron Age, and that whole area changing again. So for that window, the Bronze Age is quite a fascinating, interesting period, and there's a lot of scope there for a wargamer to sort of carry out campaigns and battles, and there's quite a number of different factions. So if there's a group of you that are looking to get into this sort of period, then there are plenty of opportunities for playing different armies and factions and stuff like that. So there's, like I said, there's a lot of potential there for narrative as play, as well as just standard sort of campaigns and stuff like that. We've got the heroic side of it with these like great big sort of leaders heroic figures from that period, and all of it jumbled together and combined together make it a really interesting but underplayed period for wargamers. And I don't understand why. Maybe because in the past there's not been the breadth of miniatures available for this period. But I think now, with a lot of manufacturers producing miniatures, this is a really good period to get into. And it's a really fascinating period to jump into as a wargamer, especially for those that are really interested in the history side of it as well. Anyway, that's all for this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.